Hello everyone. Since the deadly border conflicts in 1962, 1967 and 2020, India and China have been looking at each other with hatred. Although they have not continued to clash on the battlefield, in many other aspects they are confronting each other in a very tense manner. What are those issues? Let's find out together. At present, China is seen by many as an emerging young superpower. They have the potential to escape the middle-income trap and become a country with living standards as high as those in Europe. This is good news according to many analysts. However, India has recently also been ranked among the emerging powers. According to Beijing, New Delhi is now their most formidable rival in Asia. If they can eliminate India, China will be free to flex its muscles on the international stage. Therefore, they have plans to defeat India. One of the first actions China takes is to make India focus on its neighbors in South Asia. For Bhutan, Beijing has applied pressure by building roads, villages and security facilities in disputed territories. In 2017, India had to send troops to intervene and stop China at Doklam because it was a sensitive area for their security near the Siliguri corridor, informally known as the Chicken's Neck. China has also built a highway right next to the border so that in case of conflict in the east, they only need to choke the chicken's neck and Indian forces will be helpless to provide reinforcements. Similarly for Nepal, China tries to apply pressure to gain more territory while India struggles to protect the beautiful country. With Myanmar heavily influenced by China economically and politically, the 2021 coup was accused by many of being supported by Beijing. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are trying to maintain good relations with both India and China. However, they are often swayed by Beijing's huge pockets. Finally, Pakistan plays the role of China's staunch brother in South Asia, the country that gives India constant headaches due to conflicts. All of the above consumes a lot of India's diplomatic time, effort and military forces, keeping the country busy with matters around its territory. The second move is China's diplomatic warfare. Its wolf warriors often annoy India by pointing out New Delhi's weaknesses and setbacks compared to Beijing, drawing the world's attention to China for its greater potential while leaving India off the list. The third move is China wanting to dominate the Indian Ocean region. They have now completed 4 seaports: Kiokphu in Myanmar, Hambantota in Sri Lanka, Gwadar in Pakistan and the Djibouti military base. There is also an unfinished project in Bangladesh. This is part of China's maritime Silk Road, which forms a pearl necklace around India's neck. This makes India uncomfortable. These ports serve as transshipment points to facilitate trade but can also become stops for Chinese warships, challenging India's position as the dominant power in the Indian Ocean. Apart from seaports, China is also building rail links with Myanmar, Nepal and Pakistan to surround India. In case of conflict, Chinese troops can quickly reach all sides. This requires a lot of effort from India to find countermeasures. So have China's strategic actions succeeded as expected? In the words of an Indian military expert, China wants to create a chokehold around India's neck. But unfortunately, it is too stiff. If we follow the news, we will see images of Prime Minister Modi visiting many countries recently to accelerate diplomatic outreach. Through this, India has made some excellent moves that surprised China. Regarding Myanmar, India has donated Kilo-class submarines, transferred 6 jet trainers and some coastal surveillance aircraft, while enhancing military training and aid. This reduces some of China's pressure points on Myanmar and brings the country closer to India. With Bangladesh, India is providing Tejas fighter jets and resolving maritime disputes on favorable terms. With Sri Lanka, India has purchased rights to use Matala Rajapaksa International Airport located near China's Hambantota port lease. India has also recently committed to provide up to $4 billion in credit to help the country resolve its debt crisis. With Maldives, India is providing loans to help pay off debts to China, thereby weakening China's prospects for a port project there. With Pakistan, India is trying to weaken and isolate the country internationally to prevent opportunities for it to rise up and cooperate strongly with China. Additionally, to stop China from freely maneuvering in the Indian Ocean, India has increased cooperation with several other countries. They signed an agreement with Singapore for direct access to Changi Naval Base. They also signed with Indonesia for access to Port Blair. India is also militarizing the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In theory, this would disadvantage China having to sail through the Malacca Strait from the Indian Ocean. To counter China's Djibouti base and Gwadar port, India has also established a naval port facility in Oman to monitor the region. Finally, unlike China's unilateral approach, India is playing the card of engaging with its rivals' neighbors. Calling Vietnam a diamond and establishing comprehensive strategic partnerships, ready to supply many critical weapons. India has also signed a reciprocal military logistics pact with Japan, enabling both sides to share weapons, equipment and logistics support if needed. Prime Minister Modi was the first top official to visit Mongolia, committing credit to help the country develop. Through this, we can also understand the intensity of the India-China competition, which is quite tense even at this early stage. According to some analysts, if it continues like this, there is a risk of major conflict between the two sides.